Here we are in the Otter's Den once again. Yes, I am here to tell you that I am waiting, ready. I'm able to talk about what you want to talk about, but I'm also ready to talk about some other things that are going on. Jackassery, if you will, in clown world. Yeah, there's a lot of it, and we do not escape it. Day after day after day, these people are committing jackassery with your tax dollars. Yeah, I know it's not fun, but hey, we can make fun of them at the very least. That's what communists deserve, you know. They deserve a little bit of mockery now and again. They deserve a lot more than that, but right now we're only in the position to mock them and maybe curse them a little bit. But, you know, all in all, what we're going to do is we're going to bide our time, okay? The boss gets back, 2025, we're back in business. America's great again, right? That's what we all want. We all want food on our table, our family's safe. Lord willing, we're going to get that pretty soon. Until then, let's just keep sounding the alarm. Communism will not win. No, it won't. And I'll give you reasons why not. But until then, let me tell you about our economic barometer. Yeah. Gold prices, ladies and gentlemen. Gold prices. Yeah, I mean, I know that, and I'm just looking for our comments here. So we got the chat up. We've got Restream. We've got, it looks like the Bitcoin Otters up there on Facebook. And we'll see if the Christopher Ott one is on there. See what we got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that looks good. All right. So we're doing well. All we need now are the subjects to come in. What you guys want to talk about? Because I got plenty here. You know me, right? So what we'll do is go to Facebook here. We got YouTube. And I'm going to be trying out Rumble. Now, I don't know if Rumble will allow me to broadcast on the others, but if it does, because it's free, I mean, I would pay for it, right, if it's worth it. I just don't know if it's worth it. But it's worth a shot at the very least if it works. But who knows if it works, so we'll have to find out. Well, this is not gonna happen with the Wi-Fi. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about the gold price. $2,387 for an ounce of gold. Yeah, that's a lot of dollars, isn't it? Well, that's because they're not worth anything anymore. Silver, $31.37 for an ounce of silver. So silver's bouncing around, maybe dollar here, dollar there. But if I were a financial advisor, and I'm not, okay, again, no tie. I haven't even shaved. Look at that. Financial advisors, to my limited knowledge, shave. I don't. Well, usually. So silver at 31.37. It's hard to say, but it seems that, like the Economic Ninja, if you haven't checked him out, he's on YouTube. The Economic Ninja, great show. He's pretty much in also the same jackpot I'm in with silver to the sky, and then of course Bix Weir, silver guru. The guy was an investment banker. So he's been studying silver for decades, literally decades. He believes that $30 an ounce is the floor. It's the new floor. And I haven't seen him proven wrong yet. So silver at 31.37 could be a good deal. You want to let it bounce down close to 30 again. It's been there as of like a couple days ago. It was close to 30. Go for it. Get yourself a few of those beautiful silver rounds just in case, well, everything, hits the fan, so to speak. And our beloved Bitcoin earlier today, $71,250. So everybody wondering about, or, maybe even a little bit concerned because, some people get concerned, not me, not when it comes to Bitcoin, on the price of Bitcoin and whether or not it's going to rise, fall, or whatever. It's going to rise, ladies and gents. It's going to rise. It's just a matter of time. A matter of, hey, it's got to go through the paces, so to speak. So that at 71,250 to me is going to be a deal. Why? Because I am confident that we're going to see some big gains in that particular venue, as it were. So we go now to the average mortgage rate, okay? Which I don't know, man. I don't know if this thing's going to ever go down. Yeah, they're threatening. Well, I mean that facetiously, right? That they're threatening a rate cut, and I think they will probably close to the election. But the 30-year rate is at 7.16. Wowzers! Yeah, hopefully you don't have to buy a home right now or sell one. But if you do, 15-year rate might be a better fit, but still, it's 6.64%. No bueno, no bueno at all. But Sue, good to see you, Sue. Hopefully everything's going well there. Hi, Dad. Hi, Jim. Good to see that you guys are watching. Jim, I'm getting a lot of stuff. Jim O'Rourke, ladies and gents, he's been agitated because I'm getting, and when I put out that invite for info links, give me the heads up. Thankfully, Jim takes me seriously. He shows me things that I'm not even looking at, and bam, there it is. Slapping me upside the head of the just another batch of jackassery from his perspective, which is what I want to see. I want to see different perspectives, not just my own. So yeah, it's good to see you guys. Glad you're watching. It's a crazy world out there, but I think things are going to get a lot better. Let's see. So we're going to start everything off once again with a verse from something that Facebook is averse to, which is truth. So this one comes from 1 Peter chapter 2. Live such good lives among the pagans that, though they accuse you of doing wrong, they may see your good deeds and glorify God on the day he visits us. Yeah, 1 Peter 2:12. Now, some people think that he will visit us soon. They might be right, but let's live like he's going to give us more time. If you want, you live how you want to live. That's what America is all about, or it was anyway, prior to the insurrection. So we'll see. Now, crypto news. Let's get into this because this is very interesting. We got a lot of stuff going on in the crypto sphere here. This is from Crypto News, the site. Breaking, they say. Robinhood to acquire Bitstamp crypto exchange in $200 million all cash deal. Wow. Now, all cash deal, I guess that means that Bitstamp really needed the money. Yeah. But this is per the Robinhood X account. We're accelerating Robinhood's crypto's worldwide expansion. Robinhood has officially entered into an agreement to acquire Bitstamp, a global cryptocurrency exchange with customers across the EU, UK, US, and Asia. We'll be keeping an eye on that. Although, I mean, it's good to see that we might have more options, okay, as far as, buying and trading crypto. That would be nice. However, Robinhood, as we know all too well, is captured, right? I mean, if anybody was paying attention during that whole GameStop fiasco, perhaps you were, I don't know. But if you were, then you would know that Robinhood takes orders from the usual suspects. Why? How do we know? Because when ordered to, they stopped trading. Yes, they stopped. They prevented their, I guess you call them clients on the Robinhood platform from, I think it was buying and selling. I'm not sure. If anybody knows, please pop up and let me know. But I believe they were, yeah, they stopped because what the little guy was doing was crushing the big guy. You see, and we can't have that in America under communism. We can't have the little guy winning because that means that the fat cats aren't getting their share. And what is their share? Everything. Yeah, everything. They're not going to be happy until they have all of what you have. And you're going to be happy, according to them. So this is also from Crypto News. AI demand surge drives crypto miners to transform data center. Why did I choose this one? Well, it goes back to some of the things that I've been talking about for a while. And I've made it no secret what my favorite crypto is. I've also made it no secret I am not a financial advisor. So I'm not advising you to buy Theta. I'm just saying that it might be a good idea for me. If it's a good idea for you, you decide that. That's up to you, not me. But Theta, as I told you probably a week, 2 weeks, or maybe maybe all of the above. They have a platform, an AI platform that you can not only participate in, but you can earn money with. You can earn a wage, if you will. It's basically coming to you as you share your computing power with on a node. It's called a Theta Edge node. You put it on your computer, and I believe it's still using a little bit of your upload data. So it's not even messing with your download. Just a little bit of your upload data. You're going to share a little bit of that bandwidth so that people all over can crunch numbers on AI platforms. And cha-ching, 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 you're getting paid. Yes. While you sleep, while you eat, while you work, while you enjoy life, you're getting paid. See, that's what rich people do. Unlike myself, who I trade time for money. I don't want to do that anymore. I've done it for a while. As you can tell, I'm getting kind of old. I'm ready to make my money make me money. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be a cool thing if your money made you money and you didn't make your money? That would be cool, right? Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. Check that out. So, AI demand surge, right? So apparently these crypto miners are reaching out to try and transform their data centers because either it's not fast enough or it's just not working right. But again, Theta was there before them. Theta knew all of this, Theta Labs, the team at Theta. They knew all this. So what did they do? They made it possible so that people like you and people like me could come together and assist in this great thing called, well, not only cryptocurrency, but AI. Now, we may live to regret AI, okay? But we may not. Either way, I guess if people are going to make money off of it, why can't we, right? So just a little bit of your upload, you put it on you know what? I can coach you through all of this if you want to learn. bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com. I'll hook you up. I'll let you know. So the AI boom has led to an unprecedented shortage of industry powering equipment and supplies, along with the electricity required to power these resources. The report indicated that new facilities under construction are rapidly being leased, with about 83% of the capacity already claimed by AI companies and cloud service providers, according to a March report by commercial real estate firm CBRE Group. Okay, all that gobbledygook means that they're hustling. Okay, who's hustling? People who want their money to make them money. They're hustling. Okay, they're hustling. They're jumping. They're hopping. So can we. Okay, so can we. It's just that we're gonna have to. I won't say unlearn old habits. I'm just gonna say that we're gonna have to break ground. Okay, that book that I just mentioned, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, by Robert Kiyosaki, okay? He basically explains the difference between growing up in a poor middle-class home and growing up in a rich home. How the fathers act, how the children are taught, what they're taught, what they see, what they learn, okay? We that, we're taught that, hey, you go to work, you get a good job, you support your family. I mean, that's noble. Those are all good things in and of themselves. Very good. The fact of the matter is, we could sometimes, not always, but sometimes better serve our family, better serve our goals, ourselves, our lives, the lives of our families, our loved ones, if we have a way to employ our money in making us more money as opposed to trading just our time to make money. Make sense? I think it does. That's why there's a lot of rich people. Hey, how you doing, brother? My friend, Mr. Gomez is up. And I'm sorry about those stars. Things happen, but it could be worse. You could be a Buffalo Sabres fan. It's just, it doesn't, you can't have everything in life, unfortunately. And we as Buffalo sports fans know this. In fact, we can't have a championship. It's just written in the stars or something. I don't know. Now, I'm going to go on to a couple more things, and then we're going to talk about this craziness, this communist, whatever you want to call it, with what's going on with Donald J. Trump. Now, Bitcoin.com says, or Bitcoin.com news says, investor confidence soars with $488 million inflows into U.S. Bitcoin ETFs, exchange traded funds. On Wednesday, U.S. spot Bitcoin exchange traded funds, ETFs, saw inflows amounting to $488.1 million, with Fidelity's FBTC leading the way. These inflows mark the 17th consecutive day of contributions from the 11 publicly traded funds. So right now they're at 11, okay? So the fact of the matter is there could be many more by the time, the jig is up, if you will. But an ETF is not owning Bitcoin. Just so you know, if you are in a Bitcoin ETF, you're using fiat currency. The definition of fiat is nothing's behind it, okay? Like this piece of paper. That's it. There's nothing here. See, I've got my notes, right? So this is like a Federal Reserve note. It's got a little bit of something on there. It's worth about as much, right? This piece of paper is worth about as much as a Federal Reserve note. Probably more because my notes are on it. So on the back is nothing. Nothing is supporting this, which is what a fiat currency is, because nothing is supporting it. A legitimate monetary instrument will have a solid asset, be it gold, be it silver. In the case of Bitcoin, it's work, right? So computation work, electricity, power is behind the Bitcoin. There is an underlying case for the value of Bitcoin based on the work it takes to mine it, okay? You may agree, you may disagree, we can agree to disagree, but the fact of the matter is there's more behind the Bitcoin than there is your Federal Reserve note in your bank or in your pocket or wherever else it's burning a hole. Now, the new U.S. stock exchange launching in Texas, backed by BlackRock and Citadel. Now, I am no friend of BlackRock, nor am I of Citadel, but I sure am a friend and patriot of the great state of Texas. Now, let me read this and let me give you my assessment. Texas and its neighboring southeastern states are at the forefront of economic and population growth in the U.S. Gee, I wonder why. Making them the optimal location for a new national securities exchange. James Lee, founder and CEO of TXSE Group, opined, "We're thrilled to bring to fruition the long-held vision for a national stock exchange in Texas." And my notes here, if you can see it, New York sucks. Yeah, why? Because it sucks. The government anyway, And unfortunately, so many people there believe the way that their government acts is legitimate. Go figure. So why did I choose this one? So Texas, along with places like Florida, okay, are being inundated by people who are running from communism. Now, I use the term communism, and I should probably use the term collectivism, because collectivism is a general term meaning, hey, they're going to take from you and take from that guy and take from that gal who are all working, and they're going to give it to the people that don't want to work. That's a collectivist mindset. If you want to add satanic worship, then we can go into Karl Marx, who worshiped Lucifer. Actually, he dedicated his book, his mantra, his whatever you want to call it, his opus, to Lucifer. So if you want to be a satanic Marxist, you can, vote blue or do whatever you want. But the fact of the matter is, these are the kind of people that just don't get it yet, okay? Because when you come to Texas, when you come to Florida, when you arrive there, some of the problems happening in Texas and in Florida are because these people haven't changed their mindset. You get it? You know what I mean? So they still think that they're living in communism, or maybe they still are under the false impression that communism will work someday. And I don't know. Dan, good to see you, Dan. I haven't seen you in a while, my friend. I'm glad to see you're still up and around and up and about. Throw some some things in here if you guys if you guys are noting some of the things I'm noting, and even if it's not on this subject I'm on, I want to hear it. So what I'm getting is, and there's a few things, and I just thought about this one. Let me go with this, what I had earlier, and then I'll throw out this knuckleball here. But it makes sense that they would move from New York, a stock exchange from New York, because New York is dying, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, dying. Now, it's a death of 1,000 cuts. It's a death of their own doing, but it is a death nonetheless. You see, the last nail, well, maybe not the last nail, but the biggest, it was more of a railroad tie, a railroad spike than it was a nail in the coffin of New York. When they went to Broadway and boarded it up, when I mean the tyrants, okay? New York's governor, I think it was Cuomo at the time, that dirty rat, or maybe it was Hochul, that dirty ratess. They created lockdowns. They threw old people in old folks' homes with COVID. They murdered many people. Yet they didn't think that this was gonna fail them in any way. They thought that this would promote them in the eyes of the criminal syndicate, and it may just have done that. But in the eyes of sane people, in the eyes of Americans, in the eyes of patriots, it did nothing but expose their evil. So when you have a case like you do in New York, where so many things have happened, Christina, good to see you. You are welcome for the information. So Christina says, thank you for the information, brother. You are welcome. And I'll tell you what, I am dedicated to getting out as much of this information as I can, but I'm also always open to hear from you guys because, well, I can't see everything, that's for sure. So this stock exchange movement it should have been predicted by people who've been paying attention, right? Because what is going on is an exodus from the communist states to the free states or the freer states, right? How does that work? How is that manifesting? Well, what I believe the evil plan of the global criminal syndicate was to lock us down for so long that we would be oppressed at the same rate. So it really wouldn't behoove anyone to move because Texas would be oppressed at the same level as, a California, New York, or an Oregon. So those places. So the fact is that we are not, okay? Why? Because we have a better and bigger sense of patriotism. Okay. There could be other things, right? I mean, there could be that maybe we in these states, maybe we haven't abandoned morals as much as those other places. Perhaps not. I don't know. You have your own theory. I have mine. But the fact of the matter is, Texas is a better place than New York. Texas is a better place than California, Oregon, Illinois. And yes, if you live there, if you've lived your whole life there, I'm sorry to tell you that. I lived a large portion of my life in New York, and I have the ability to compare and contrast. And I'll tell you what, Texas is perhaps the greatest state. We can argue that later. But another thing that just popped into my mind was a lot of people have this idea. I personally don't. I'll let you know that right now. You could dig into this with me. But I don't have this idea, but some people have this idea. And the bad guys most certainly want to foment this idea that we're going to have a civil war. Okay. I don't think it's going to happen. Okay. I have many reasons for that. If you want to dig into the rabbit holes, bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com. I will introduce you to rabbit holes, basically saying that, no, this civil war is not going to happen. We might come to the precipice, the edge of it, but we're not going to have it. Just like World War III. And I'll be getting into this in a minute. I don't have a ton of notes today, but I'm going to get into it in a minute. That World War III is going to come knocking at your door. Yes, a door near you. Your door, basically. And I'll get into that in a minute. But what I'm getting at is people like the ones that run BlackRock and what was the other one? The other thieving Citadel. Yeah. They're no friends of the working man. I'll tell you that right now. But if nothing else, they are smart and they prepare. So if they know that a hellhole like New York is destined for destruction, they're going to want to set up shop in the up and coming states. Okay. Not only is Texas and Florida, that not only are they up and coming, they are arrived. I mean, Texas could be its own country. In fact, I'm going to let you in on something. Texas is its own country. Yes, it's still a republic. And according to the Republic of Texas and the Texas Constitution, okay, we did not dissolve completely. We have the right, no, nay, the obligation to decouple with a corrupt union. But again, I don't think those measures are going to be necessary. Now, Cointelegraph says new law grants U.S. president power to block digital asset access. Oh, wow. Isn't that curious? Yeah. The act was introduced in a December 2023 announcement. I believe I did announce it on the show, allowing the U.S. Treasury Department to go after emerging threats involving digital assets. Okay, let me do another episode of Otter's translation for you. So, a translation of emerging threats involving digital assets, according to the U.S. government, that's their language. Let me translate that. It is anything that will threaten the current criminal syndicate banking system. Get it? So if anything threatens that banking system that is currently in place, robbing, fleecing you and me, they're going to consider that an emerging threat. Excuse me. They're going to consider anything an emerging threat to their democracy. We know, anyone who reads knows, or the founding documents, if you've read them, we are not a democracy. No. Hell no. We are a republic. When you hear a politician, a banker, a shyster use the term democracy, what they really mean is their criminal syndicate, their criminal system. That is their democracy, okay? So when they say something or other is a danger to our democracy, what they really mean is it threatens the criminal syndicate. Hopefully that'll serve you well. The Gateway Pundit, in retaliation for Ukraine using NATO long-range missiles to strike Russian territory, Putin says he may supply weapons to regions that can attack Western countries' targets. Is this surprising to anyone? I hope it's not. I really, really hope it's not. I was listening to an interview of, I think what was his name? It was on Tucker Carlson. And I'm going to get into another Tucker Carlson interview in a minute. But Tucker Carlson was, if anybody knows, please pop up. It was like not the last one, which, I'm going to get into in a minute, where Tucker Carlson did an awesome, all of his interviews are awesome, but this one was with Nayib Bukele, the president of El Salvador. It was solid, ladies and gents. Now, the one before that was with a former, he was a diplomat here in this country, the United States, right? So he was a diplomat of sorts, and maybe he wasn't officially a diplomat, but he had diplomatic ties. He knows many people, many officials worldwide, and he really, he's able to take the pulse of what's going on. So the interview was basically how ridiculous it was when the usual suspects announced that we were going to go to war in Ukraine against Russia. Did they ever really tell us that was what they're going to do? No. But you see, Ukraine is the Western world's capital of corruption. That's why the resident, Joseph Robinette Biden, had to protect all of the corruption that was inseminated, I like that word, inseminated in 2014 into Ukraine by the usual suspects. It was another color revolution, if you will. They overthrew it. They, meaning three-letter agencies, and probably one of the M's in Israel. I don't know for sure. Who knows? I'm not. How would you say? In a position to know. So I'm just basically figuring out after so many years of looking at this stuff, you can kind of, connect the dots. And what it says is basically in 2014, Ukraine was overthrown. They put in the tiny dancer, Zelensky, and he is literally a dancer. So it is a joke, but he's also a dancer. So Zelensky is now also the puppet. He eliminated, just in case you were wondering, he eliminated elections in Ukraine, so no longer have to worry about different puppets. That's good to know, right? So now they use this term, and it is ridiculous, but they used this term over they vomited this term out on TV broadcasts, and it's called unprovoked. So every time they were announcing that they were going to create more war in the world, they were going to instigate more war and mayhem in the world, they made sure that the mentally, I don't want to use this pejorative term, but let's just say they're a little slow, the TV watchers that watch news every night without fail, they made sure that they implanted in the slow minds of the TV watchers that it was unprovoked, that this attack by Putin, by Russia on Ukraine was unprovoked. Now, nothing could be further from the truth. Well, the 2020 results could probably be further from the truth than that. But I digress. The fact of the matter is this, that Russia was provoked for years. I think it was more than a decade. And this guy that Tucker Carlson was interviewing made the case perfectly. So kudos to Tucker Carlson. I'll tell you, that guy is on. And the one that I'm going to cover in a little bit, real quick, is going to be Nayib Bukele, one of my international heroes. I have to tell you that. So, yeah, basically we're inching forward, closer and closer to World War III. It's coming a knocking, ladies and gents. World War III on your doorstep. So, you got young men in your house? That guy in the White House is going to want to conscript them. In fact, if you don't know what's going on in Ukraine, they are actually driving around Ukrainian neighborhoods with vans and sacking up young men. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a tragedy. I treat the subject lightly sometimes, but the fact of the matter is that if it's not already destroyed, then it is well on the way to being destroyed. A generation, a full generation of young men in Ukraine. All because the deep state, the cabal, the criminal syndicate, the Khazarian mafia, whatever you want to call it, the Illuminati, they want more war. And they want to threaten Russia. Why? Because they were unsuccessful in doing the same thing to Russia, just like they were in China. Okay, say what you will about China, but the fact of the matter is that the color revolution failed. I'm going to dig into this and I'm going to report back to you guys. And if you know anything about this, okay, please let me know. But what I'm going to dig into was a surprise to me. Now, I know that George Sr., Poppy Bush, was an evil, evil, evil man, as is the whole evil Bush crime family. However, I did not know that he and the usual suspects, of which he is one, worked the Tiananmen Square thing as a color revolution. That was designed to bring China into the Western banking cartel. I didn't know that. That blew my mind. If you guys know anything about that, please throw me a bone here, okay? bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com. I'm really interested. I'm going to be looking into that. I'll report what I find. But the fact of the matter is, I was unaware. Now I'm aware. So Zero Hedge says, Russian warships steam for Caribbean. That's pretty close. Ladies and gents, did I not say it was coming to your doorstep? I think I did. In a show of force, perhaps promoted or prompted by President Biden's authorization of Ukrainian strikes inside Russia using U.S. weapons, a group of Russian warships is en route. I love that term, en route, E-N, to the Caribbean. A senior U.S. official has told McClatchy and the Miami Herald. The Miami Herald would be wise to attune themselves to this since the Caribbean is pretty close. White House officials alerted members of Congress to the Russian move on Wednesday. Now, if anyone in the White House wasn't brain dead, and I'm not saying that there is anybody there that has a fully functional brain. I'm not saying that, okay? I wouldn't want to insult fully functional brains. So the White House officials alerted members of Congress. Well, see, White House officials are doing all this, and I don't think any officials really reside in the White House, but the resident does. They know this is going to happen. They know that actions result in reactions, okay? Moves are destined to see counter moves, and that everything that is going on right now is not by chance, okay? They have most definitely poked the bear. They have provoked Russia beyond a shadow of a doubt. Russia has been so provoked that I heavily doubt that if Russia were to do the same to the U.S., meaning they go into Mexico or they go into Canada, they put bioweapons laboratories, okay, on our border, like, you know, the usual suspects did to Russia, it wouldn't fly. Let's just put it that way. So they know what's going on. Now, Wall Street admits the biggest economic shocker. All jobs in the past year have gone to illegal aliens. You don't say. Americans are losing jobs in Bidenomics? How can that be? Say it ain't so. For much of the past year, we had been pounding the table on two very simple facts. Not only has the U.S. labor market been appallingly weak, with most of the jobs gained in 2023, meant to signal how strong the Biden recovery has been, about to be revised away, as first the Philly Fed, now Bloomberg both admit, but more shockingly, all the job growth in the past few years has gone to illegal aliens. Aram Cha, Corinne is on. Good to see you here. Throw in your 2 cents, everybody, please. I was just reading about how the biggest economic shocker occurred. Not a shocker at all. That all jobs in the past year have gone to illegal aliens. Yes. Yes. Why have all new jobs since 2018 gone to foreign-born workers, i.e. immigrants? Because you can be an illegal immigrant in deportation proceedings, not to mention anyone seeking asylum. We won't even go there. And get authorization to work in the U.S. for up to 5 years. No questions asked. You see, that's a way, ladies and gents, that's a way that the criminal cartel, the deep state, the Illuminati, whatever you want to call them, right? The usual suspects, that's a way they can invite all these people in, okay? You know, the people that rape people. Remember that guy from, I think, last week's report? Had a rape van on wheels in California? Yeah. Yeah, he had toys in it, ladies and gents. They're not inviting the best of the best from foreign countries, ladies and gents. They really, really want to mess this country up. They want to destroy it. So one of the ways of doing that is, if someone is in deportation proceedings, let's say they get a court date for 2028 or 2029 or 2030, they're going to be here, so they get permission automatically. It's almost automatic, right? They get permission to work here in the United States. Go figure. And if they're here illegally, they're not going to demand high wages. And if they're not going to demand high wages, well, the people who do, like fools in California who want to make, 60 grand in a McDonald's job, right? A year in a McDonald's job, they're going to be replaced by illegal aliens or robots or both. So the fact of the matter is, this job uptick that that woman, and she's got a lot of hair, well, they're not in the White House. They don't film the press things from the White House anymore. At least they were outside the White House for a while. They might have gone back in, but Jean, whatever her name is, she, all those numbers, yeah, they're not right. They're not right at all. So let me go off on a little tangent here. Please let me know if there's something you want to talk about. But I got to tell you, today I watched the interview between Tucker Carlson and Nayib Bukele, the president of El Salvador. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot too highly recommend that you watch it. Okay? Among many things, Mr. Bukele has added to his list of accomplishments a very well-spoken English repertoire is something he possesses, okay? You could tell that English is not his first language because he does struggle for words sometimes, but which one of us doesn't, right? I mean, I do all the time, you know? So the fact of the matter is this guy, he's got it. And you know what else? It's not just here, it's here, okay? So Tucker, as he's bringing some of the subjects out as to how it was that a small country like El Salvador was able to completely turn around its designation as the murder capital of the world. And he said this more than once, did President Bukele, said that when they were in their worst times of the murder capital of the world, El Salvador was 3 times as bad as what Haiti is right now. And we all know what kind of cauldron of evil is Haiti. Right now, El Salvador was 3 times worse than that. Yes. When we say, we halfway jokingly say here that the inmates run the prisons here in America, they were literally running the prisons in El Salvador. Yes, literally running, telling the prison officials who could not come to visit, what they could not bring in. Yes, I kid you not. Watch the interview. You'll see. Okay. So in this interview, the best, the greatest, most hopeful thing that I heard was that part of the transformation process of El Salvador from the murder capital of the world to a place that people can now succeed. Working people have peace. And that's, basically one of the things he said was, what's the first thing a country needs prior to it transforming itself from hell to a level playing field for all involved? Peace. They have to have peace. You didn't have peace in any of those neighborhoods. Why? Well, because MS-13 was all over the place, right? They were all over the place. Now, what was one of the things that they did? Prayer. Yes. In his cabinet, during the meetings, the big juntas, right, where they were trying to figure out how they were going to bring this about. They knew they had the will. They knew they were on the right side, but they wanted to find out. They wanted to know how to do it exactly. And they prayed. They literally stopped and prayed. Okay. And he said this, okay? This is something that you would never have seen when Tucker was on Fox, because Fox is garbage. So basically, Tucker asked him, you prayed? And he said, yes, we prayed. We prayed. They came to an impasse because they didn't want innocent civilians killed. Yet they knew that in order to serve those same innocent civilians, they had to clean up the place. Sue says just because the illegals are allowed to work here, the businesses who hire them are in essence helping them undermine America. Exactly, Sue. Exactly. That's why the plans, the strategies, the machinations of the communists, for lack of a better term, are so well thought out because they've done this in so many other places. Okay, we don't get history in school. What do you mean? We don't get history. Remember that the usual suspects claim that the United States has won all its wars, right? Yet we know we have not. We know demonstrably we have not. Okay, we haven't won a war since arguably World War II, and I will argue that for a different time, right? Now, how does this undermine America? Well, it takes jobs away from people who need 3 of them now. People need three jobs because there's no more full-time jobs coming up. They're not to be had. Not at the wage that would feed a family. Certainly not, right? I mean, think about it. Why is it that we as taxpayers have to pay the student loans on people who don't want to pay them? They took them out. They made a contract. They made a promise, and well, they just don't want to pay them anymore. So, hey, you, Joe, plumber, Al, contractor, you guys, you're going to pay my student loans because Biden said so. Thanks, Joe. Yeah. Well, I mean, if they had jobs, then maybe they could pay these student loans off. But they don't have jobs because, well, illegals have jobs, right? I don't know. You can prove me wrong, right? But the fact of the matter is, this is happening. It's not to be denied. So back to that interview. President Bukele basically lays down the whole plan, if you will, which I believe the United States will embark upon in 2025. Yes, we're going to be brought to the brink of World War III. Yes, we're going to be brought to the brink of insolvency. Yes, we're going to be brought to the brink of a civil war. All things that the usual suspects want because they're desperate, ladies and gents. Okay? They are desperate. I am here to announce hope. Okay? The first hope is Jesus Christ, right? If you don't have him, well, get Jesus. If you do have him and you're wanting to know what else you want to, be able to stick your hope into, it is the United States because we're not dying. The bad guys want us to die, but we're not going to die, right? We're not going that way. We are going to win. We are going to have the first president. Well, you know what? Actually, it wasn't. Bukele was talking today about how similar things happened in his initial running for president, where they basically canceled the parties that he was running under. Two of them, I believe. They canceled the party, so he couldn't run, but they got it in just in time. Amen. And that nation was cleaned up. Imagine how many people are alive today because they cleaned that nation up. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what Republicans and Democrats will not do for America. They will not clean up America. They're making too damn much money to clean up America. So it's going to take an outsider, like the guy they just convicted and call him a felon. That guy is going to clean up America with our help. Or better said, we're going to clean it up with his help. Okay? Because in 2025, America is going to be revived. America is going to be great again. And to me, it's a badge of courage. It's a badge of service. It's a badge of honor for him to be convicted by commies. If communists convict you, you are on the right side. It's going to be uncomfortable. Oh, it's going to be ugly. But you're going to know, you're going to have tangible proof that you are on the right side. Yes, yes, and yes. All those questions, all those things. You really mean that? Yes, I do. If communists convict you, and these are most definitely communists, collectivists at the very least, okay, the evil behind these people will be exposed. It will be exposed. And not as if, setting up, somebody on false charges and all that is not evil. Yes, it is. But the evil that is going to be exposed is going to leave you aghast. In fact, the good guys, will not even go deep enough to show most of what these people are guilty of. Epstein Island is the tip of the iceberg. Yes, yes, and yes. Keep asking those questions. They hurt. They're painful. Keep asking them. There are answers out there. BitcoinOtter.media@gmail.com if you want to go down some rabbit holes and you want to be a decider of whether or not you want to see how evil these people really are. It's just, I'm throwing it out there. So we're about at the end of the hour. I want to thank you all for being with us. Okay. I want to thank you, everyone who's watching on the City 97.7 KCYP FM here in McAllen. You're watching on Joe Martinez's station. Both, I think we went out both on YouTube and Facebook. And if you're watching the Bitcoin Otter Facebook, and I really appreciate that. I'm getting a lot more members of the Bitcoin Otter page. Yes, I have Christopher Ott and I have Bitcoin Otter, but the Bitcoin Otter one, Lord willing, if we make it, and if we make it into some sort of place where we can actually make money on this, which of course I'm not, but if that ever occurs, it's going to happen through the Bitcoin Otter page. So if you're not a member of the Bitcoin Otter page, please like it, subscribe, whatever, all that good stuff. But the fact of the matter is, I'm not here to make money. I'm here to tell all of you that we've got work to do. Okay? We are going to take this country back. We the people. Okay? We the people. We the people will do this. And we will have a leader. Not a guy that takes a dump in his pants while he's trying to talk about D-Day. Not that guy. That's not a leader. Unless you talk, in some sort of fecal sense, perhaps. But the fact of the matter is, 2025 comes along. Do not fear. We will have a true leader. You can disagree if you want, but I've got my hope firmly in God first and the Patriots, we the people, secondly. Thank you. Thank you for coming. God bless you. God bless your families. Throw up some comments or whatever. I look at the show with the comments from the show after the show. So I will answer them. I'll continue to answer them. And also, bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com. Have a great week. Who knows? Maybe something will happen. I'll pop up again. Have a great one.